Well met, travelers, and welcome to Looking for Legends, where fate is decided by the roll of the dice, and every choice carves a path into history. Gather your courage, ready your wits, and step into adventure. For tonight, a new legend begins. But before we get into that, we do have some things to talk about. So let me bring in my fellow, not that, there we go, cast members. We do have some things to discuss, starting with near Khan, Caden, as he wakes up out of his sleep. Tell us a little bit about...
I was dead.
Oh, dead. As he wakes up, we've cast a resurrection, guys. Excellent. This is what D&D is all about.
Yes.
Caden, you want to go ahead and talk about...
Of course. But before, I did just want to clear that up. This stream brings me so much life that I raise back from the dead. It gives me so much energy that I raise from the dead. Our stream has that potential. And you know what else has that potential? The Roll for Chaos show. Oh my goodness. This new experimental D&D web show tackles all things that you've never seen at the role-playing table. Each season, we test insane gameplay mechanics in entirely unique homebrew worlds with a fresh cast of talented comedians, actors, and storytellers. So, come for the chaos, stay for the laughs, and leave with all the feels. That's the Roll for Chaos show on Instagram and YouTube.
And we also have a couple others who are doing very fun things on social medias and whatnot. We'll go with Kevin. You want to tell us a little bit about what you and Danielle are doing?
What's up? My wife and I, Danielle, we run a little YouTube channel of our little adventures, either around the world, around the country, and we just have a lot of fun. Want to see as many things as possible. Want to do as many things as possible. We're all about the experience, so come on down, hang out with us. Check us out on It's the Lindy's at YouTube.
And Kelsey.
What is up, everybody? Y'all can find me at Farm Grown Nerd, but where you really ought to be looking for me is over at Mr. Dandy DM's YouTube channel, in addition to here, playing Our Flag Means Doom, or Jeremiah McCoy on his YouTube, playing the Black Rose Society, 7th Sea.
Yeah, we love Mr. Dandy DM and Jeremiah McCoy. Will has a lot of things that he does too, but he doesn't like to talk about himself on the screen. So
he also has NDAs.
Yeah,
unless it's in character.
Oh, yes, he could talk about anything in character. No, totally. We understand non-disclosure.
That's not happening.
We understand non-disclosure. Will's got a lot of cool things. We honestly don't know the details of a lot of them because of said non-disclosures. But he's got a lot of things, a lot of irons in the fire, and we love Will. We think he's great, and he's doing a lot of really great things.
He told me.
That said, as a matter of course, I do feel obligated to say our content includes fantasy violence, social adversity, and some adult themes as part of the storytelling. The characters, events, and settings are purely fictitious, and any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or to real-world events is coincidental and unintentional. Viewer discretion is advised, as some themes may not be suitable for all audiences. By continuing with us, because that's what you're going to do, you're going to continue with us, we do ask that you accept these elements and join us in the community and game we all love. So thank you for being a part of our legendary journey. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. When last we left our caravan of misfits and runaways, they'd taken some time to get to know a few other members of the caravan, Kralis and Chanticleer notably. Bova, you purchased a set of runes for your bird-brained friend, and when you return, the caravan was ready to leave. Unfortunately, Near Khan was nowhere to be found. Attempting to find him, you did end up locating more or less his trail, which you followed to a place called the Gates of Hell, also known as the Doors of Death, depending on who you're talking to. Coming to the place, some of you make the connection that this place is a waypoint of the Hells, as the firmaments once held for the gods, a place where diabolical forces peer into the world and rule from their own domains. Working your way deeper into this cavernous waypoint, Douthie was pulled into the ground by the living cave, becoming one of the many forms writhing under the skin of this cave floor. His form stretching and being pulled into a thing unrecognizable from himself. Forced to make yet another deal with the Frozen King, Douthie agrees to free the devil at his earliest opportunity. Bova and Salvi, you find near Khan, fallen dead, his body nearly dangling over a seemingly endless pit next to his mark, also fallen. He was victorious, but at what cost? Attempting to save him, Bova was able to pull him from the pit, but thousands of spiders emerged from the darkness, hungry. Salvi, a couple of very, very clutch performance checks, I believe, made them see her as their queen, but it did not stave off their ire when she betrayed them, allowing the intruders to escape. Douthie, released from the waypoint prison of 1,000 souls, thousands of spiders giving chase until they were burned by the light of the sun outside the cave, a brilliant pulse of devilish magical energy exploded from behind you toward the pit, and near Khan gasped for air, somehow brought back to life. With no way to collapse the cave, and every message you wrote being corrupted into something else, you all set off into the proverbial sunset, away from the Doors of Death. And now we will pick up with your journey to the next city where you intend to meet the caravan, Therion. To do that, I'll need some rolls. First, could someone roll me a d4? Three. Excellent. Let me document that.
I don't like how you said that.
All right. Now, on the road, we're gonna utilize a system called Campfire, and I think we've used it before in games that we have not put out there, but we're going to utilize that again. Fantastic system for those who are wanting to enhance their overland travel without playing it out day by day. So in order to cross these few days, I'm going to need I'm going to need a series of at least 3 and at most 5 checks. Effectively, the way this is going to work is you are going to narratively describe to me how your character helps to get from one point to the next. Unfortunately, I don't believe anyone had a map. So this will all be unless somebody does, in which case you should make that known at this point. Otherwise, if you can narratively describe to me what you're doing to help the party get from one place to another, you can utilize any skill that you have proficiency in. Any skill is applicable so long as you can justify it. That said, you'll need a series of 3 successes or 3 failures. Both will get you to the place that you need to be. 3 successes will accomplish the goal by success and give you a what did it call them? A windfall. 3 failures will get you to the place, but you will earn a hardship. So, who would like to be first? Who would like to explain how your character helps the party to get to Therion? Go ahead, El Toro.
So, Minotaurs have this thing called labyrinthian recall. They can't get lost if they've taken the path before. So, the very least, I can get us from where we left off. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, what I'm going to have you do is give me a, I guess I would call this survival check at advantage, and whatever happens, you won't get lost. This is just to see how much you speed up the progress. You're not going to slow it down, but this will determine how much you speed it up.
Well, with +0 to survival, that's not a good stat for me.
Totally
With
fair.
advantage, I had a 17.
17 is great. Okay, yeah, 17 is good, especially with a +0. 17 is great. So,
My other roll was an 11.
okay, yeah, I mean, even then, like, that's not bad. That's still slightly above average. How I rule it, 10 is what any normal person could do. Like, that's kind of the average of, Joe Schmo down the street. So, 17 is great. With the 17, you just kind of by nature of who you are and how you experience the world, how you make sense of things, you're able to steer the party away from what would be pitfalls, several of them as you're on your way. I would say you shave an entire day off of the travel by the end of this, just kind of throughout, steering people away from the traps and into the correct directions. Who would like to go next?
I'll have Salvi be playing a little tune for everybody, like something to just keep the spirits up during the day and something to soothe in the evening.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a performance check to keep up that morale. I don't even know why I asked her to give me the check. Like, I know it's going to be like a 30.
Plus 19, so.
Right?
It's just a +7, so it's a 19.
Okay, still very good. Very good. You actually notice as you all start, there's a darkness that hangs over you. You've just come out of, for all intents and purposes, hell on earth. One of you remembering a dark voice in the void of death. Another of you stretched thin in a demi-plane ruled by demons and devils. Like, as you begin to play these songs and perform to lift the others of your party up, you actually feel this darkness, this oppressive force begin to fade. The weather begins to change. Even like it was raining. It was there even was hail at times. But over as you play your music, I don't know if it's the weather changing or just your all's mental faculties being on like better standing, but one way or the other, kind of stop noticing anything wrong. Things are on the up and up, and all of you feel it over the next couple days. Who would like to go next?
I think, with that, I think Nirkan, he seems a little tense as he tries to kind of help out the members of his team. I think he's going to try, just like whenever there's, like we reach a cliff, or a wide clearing, or a really thick patch of trees, whatever, or heaven forbid, like a raging river. I think he's just going to help to extend his help. He knows that he's got these situations, so he's just going to try to kind of help out with that difficult terrain and kind of push everybody to get over these environmental obstacles.
Okay, so above board, is that an attempt to use athletics?
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check before I went ahead and okay, yeah, give me an athletics check.
I'll roll this.
And I'm actually going to say, because of Salvi's tunes, go ahead and take it at advantage.
Okay. We'll see.
Because your
It's all
morale's
those-
high.
It's all those days from the Song of Rest. Having +6 temp HP every single day makes you feel a little light.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Dude.
So the second roll that I made with advantage was a 13, but my original was a natural 20. A natural home-birthed 20.
Let's go. For a total of...
Oh, shoot, 27.
Heck yeah, let's go. Okay. All right. So the road is difficult, and for a second you don't even for a couple of days you don't even realize how difficult it is, because your all's morale is so high. But as you're nearing where you're supposed to be, where L4L is kind of I think it's over here, you kind of are pulled back into yourself, and you're like, wow, this is you gain this understanding of how difficult the terrain has been. The weather hasn't stopped. You just stopped noticing it. The hills and the jagged rocks that are kind of jutting out of these kind of grassy knolls, becoming more mountainous as you go. It's hard traveling, but you're able to assist the party in all of the more athletic, higher intensity terrains. It becomes no problem for you. In fact, as somebody rolls a d20, you also get there even before the rest of the caravan does.
You passed the caravan?
You totally did. Yeah, I mean, with those rolls, totally.
Dang.
Has anybody rolled a d20?
I rolled the
Are
D4.
you all scared?
Wait, Kevin, you roll.
Yeah, Kevin, you participate.
You participate. I think we all got to roll.
11.
11. Excellent. Okay. As you are on your way, you see a young man strapping in his build, fair of hair and eyes, walking kind of out of the field with a corpse of a beast over his shoulders. He sort of he sees you all, kind of rolls back his shoulders, tosses the corpse off of them, and regards you. Sorry, I don't see many people in this region. Why are you here? Pardon my manners. I don't see many people. My name's Azrath. Who are you?
We are just travelers. We're actually waiting on our caravan. We went on a side tangent to, deal with someone that went for a jaunt. And we're trying to make sure we intercept them. I think we're ahead of schedule, but I'm not 100% sure.
A caravan? Where are you headed? Sorry. Travel fascinates me.
The city of the lost. Ever heard, Stefan?
No, I never have. Is it lost? How are you to find it?
That's the quest, is it not?
Trial and error.
Well,
The city's other name is Takakal.
that's
City
the
of
name
lost
I've heard.
people.
I don't know anything of it. It's one of the ancient cities, correct?
Supposedly.
So I've heard.
Well,
Yes,
you
that's
must. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's true. It is one of the ancient cities.
Phenomenal. What? You must be starving. Must be hungry on your travels. It's not the best meat, but I did just. And he gestures. You see what looks to be almost like a young lion. That this young man has killed.
I'm not going to say no. That way I don't have to break into any more of my rations.
Very well. I'll prepare a fire. So, right this way. Actually, better to stay closer to the roads. Yes. Very well. Okay. And he kind of just hoists up again the corpse of this lion over his shoulders, and it's easily at least his size. Probably half again as much as he weighs, and just kind of hoists it up there and jogs, not walks, but jogs 20-30 feet off the road and tosses this lion's corpse off to the side of one shoulder and begins to kind of gather some twigs and dry grass that's in the area.
He's quite spry.
We got a big man.
I'm curious. Dungeon Master, I want to use a perception check to see what is going on with this young man. Why is he strong for his build?
Well, so he is a strapping, muscular person. But yes, absolutely. You can go ahead and give me a perception check.
Aha! A mighty 11. It's a dump stat.
Totally. You just kind of, as a performer and a sort of bodybuilder yourself, you kind of notice as he runs, he's wearing kind of this one-shouldered tunic, and the muscles in his back and shoulders are kind of flexing and moving as he runs. His calves are godlike. It's probably just the muscles. You don't know. It basically looks pretty much just like a Hercules style person.
Are you familiar with any fighting rings in the area?
Fighting rings. Well, unfortunately, and he goes to kind of strike some flint and steel and try.
Let me help you. I mean, I can assist. Fireflies.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Begins to lay some like twigs and small sticks over top of the fire that's being lit. Fighting pits. Well, unfortunately, I'm mostly just a shepherd. I'm kind of out here. Well, that's what this was, and no, I don't get out much. I don't really have that opportunity. Mostly just my brothers get to go into the city and all. Anyway, do you? I mean, are you a fighter?
I dabble every so often. I like to try to make some money every now and then. You know, gambling on myself. You know, my friends. You know, sometimes they help. But mostly it's just to make some coin for the party, just a little source of income. You know, comes and goes.
Wait, you mean you can make money by like, and he kind of like strikes a wrestling pose.
Mm-hmm. Like bring your elbows in slightly to protect the body. There you go. And then lower your center of gravity and just sweep in, grabbing the thigh and lifting them off the feet, and you'll take them down instantly.
Roll me an initiative check very quickly.
Initiative. That is +2, so that is 14.
As he drops low and pulls his elbows in, he lunges at you and pulls your thigh out from under you, kind of forcing his shoulder down into your torso as you fall and pushing you into the ground. Like this?
Yes, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. When you do that, you initially want to immediately move on to the next step. Once they're down, you move on to the next thing, and then I'm going to do a move on him.
Absolutely, let's go.
First, grapple. So, competing strength.
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
Ooh.
You also got a nat 20?
Also got a nat 20,
No
bro.
way, bro.
Wait, what's your strength?
+6.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you still win it out.
Yeah.
Wild that was 2 nat 20s though.
2 nat 20, that's insane.
It's been a minute since I got to be El Toro. Let's see. So I don't want to really hurt him. So let's see. I will. While he's grappled, are we prone right now?
Yes. Yep.
You're prone. Okay, that changes things. Hang on. I forgot what I could do.
Not to interrupt the RP, but can Salvi do? Can I have her examine the way this guy is fighting to see if I can?
Absolutely. Totally perception or investigation. Unless there's another skill you want to use, and then totally let me know what that might be.
Investigation works fine for me. Dirty 20.
With that, I am going to, with the grapple, I'm going to put him in the torture rack. So I'm going to grapple him, fling him up, put him over my shoulders, and just like bend down. But I don't want to hurt him. I just want him to initially feel that this can hurt, but it's like, and then you would get him in this move right here, and then Salvi.
Totally. So is there anything specifically you're looking to ascertain with that dirty 20?
She's wary of the people we have met over the past couple of weeks, so she's just, is he play fighting or is this going to turn into a real fight? And if so, do I need to cast Blade Ward real quick?
Okay. So that should have been an insight roll. I'll still take the dirty 20. I'll still take the dirt. I mean, I get at 18, it doesn't matter. So he seems to be, honestly, he seems to be a very innocent, like, farmer shepherd person that just doesn't get out much. So like very much the extrovert who's kept in an introverted job, and as soon as he sees people, he's like, well, people, what?
Okay, well, just for flavor then, because I can say this, for a half a second, Salvi's like intensely staring at him, her eyes kind of glowing red just a little bit, wisps and tendrils of black come out of her fingertips, and as she ascertains that information, it just slowly fades. Like, okay, sorry.
Totally. Okay, so go ahead and make me another strength check, Stark.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that is a 22.
Okay, all right. So he kind of begins to turn and spin one leg over you, and then you immediately catch it and just pull him back into it. Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. I got you. I see how this is. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
now when you're in this position, best thing to do, because your arms are still free, drive an elbow into the chin of your opponent. Go ahead, give me a quick smack.
Ah!
Oh, ooh, that's a little feisty. All right, so then it would catch me off guard, simulating, and then I would stumble and you would drop.
And yeah, like this, and then he tries to like basically drop over your back, and pull you into like a sleeper hold style like grapple.
Mm-hmm.
But then he kind of releases and he's like, okay, all right.
Okay,
All right.
so you got it.
I got it.
Okay.
That was fun.
It's all about being quick, thinking of the next move. Whatever position you're in, you already have something ready to counter it.
Counter. Thinking ahead. Countering. Got it. Oh, shoot. And then he runs back to the fire that's already beginning to die because the sticks are like very small here, and starts to lay like larger sticks over top of it. Sorry. Do you mind if and he pulls like this really large, like almost machete-like knife, and kind of, I mean, it's not gonna gross anybody out if he kind of pulls up the head of the lion.
No, go ahead. That's how
Okay.
we get meat.
Excellent. And he does begin to gut it, clean it, skin it, all the things. So I know that in some places they drain the animal before they eat it, but how do you get its strength if you drain it? Are you guys okay with the blood?
I'm pretty sure one of us is very much ready for the blood.
As long as you're done manhandling each other, then yes.
I was enjoying it.
I'm sure you were.
We're practicing, trying to show the kid the ropes.
Okay, so, but okay, right on. And he kind of just hacks off one of the, after he's skinned it, hacks off one of the legs of this lion and just begins to hold it with one hand over the fire. And again, like, it is an entire leg of the lion. And he's just kind of, holding it almost like a fork with a, like a camping fork with a marshmallow. Just spinning it over the flame.
Hold on. I'm not from this surface world that y'all are part of, but we got a certain way of cooking under the sea where it's a little bit hotter under that water. So what we do is kind of spin the meat over the heat source. So you just holding it here might get a nice sear on the outside, but that inside gonna be raw is all fish, man. The tuna is raw. You can't do it like this.
No, that's how you absorb its strength. You sear the outside, but keep the power of the beast inside.
The power, is this the blood, the raw muscle?
Well, yes. I mean, I already ate its heart, but there are some of the other things inside there that you can have if you want it.
Is this how you got so big, how so strong?
Well, I mean, I didn't kill lions at first, but yeah. Couple of wild dogs, and then it was a coyote of sorts, and then the lions came for my flock. So probably a bear next, I guess.
Right. Huh. Okay.
And at this point, you actually you kind of recall when he brought the lion up, it wasn't bleeding. There was no wound in the lion. Like, it wasn't punctured or cut. He killed this thing with his bare hands.
Oh, Jism. All right. Now this interesting way of the steppers here. So sure. You know what? This is interesting. I'll follow after you. However you do it. Nah, I think I'll do the same.
He kind of does. He cooks up different portions of the lion and hands them out: the shoulder, the loin, the ribs. Sorry. That explains. I get it. That's why you're so little.
Yes.
Wait, are you?
Hmm?
You know what? Never mind. I didn't say anything.
Am I what?
I was going to ask if you're stronger than you look. That's what I was gonna say.
No.
Right on.
She is powerful in her own way, don't get me wrong. Winning a battle isn't all about muscle.
I have different things I bring. Her eyes kind of flash a little bit red, and her jaw just barely unhinges for half a second before snapping back.
Okay, so I've gotten spirit in the heart, power in the blood. It's not a very smart animal, so you don't want its brains. Anything you guys want from the lion? Okay. No, totally fine. Not your thing. That's fine.
Whatever you think is necessary, friend. I'm intrigued at the way you look at the balance, the offering of the dead. It's interesting.
That seems to be quite similar to you, Nirkan. Waste not.
Want not.
Well, and he kind of just hands out various parts of the lion. Just if this isn't how you're used to eating it, it's probably gonna, a little bit.
I mean, is it cooked?
Yeah, yes.
Insight check?
You don't even need an insight check. Again, he said it was seared on the outside, but you're trying to keep the blood and power of the beast inside. Who eats this meat?
Nir Khan is I think he's open to it. He's really interested in what this guy thinks, or how some of that strength is kind of tied into this kind of habit or culture of his. So Nir Khan dines with him.
Totally. Could you give me a Constitution save?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh my god, bro. A 5.
Okay. On my percentile die, I rolled very high, which means that the small chance that there was meat in it, or there was some kind of poisoning in it, these dice did not meet that for your cut of meat, meaning you're fine.
Does this lion have a scorpion tail or something?
No. Oh gosh, no. No, I heard of those things. I don't know. Maybe one day, but
El Toro would want to eat a piece as well, but before he does, he kind of like glances over and kind of inspects the kid's body to make sure he doesn't have any markings on him that would concern him.
okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. That's definitely a perception thing.
Oh no, it's only a 12. It's not a good stat for me.
You don't see any. You don't see any concerning marks. I mean, some scars, definitely some scarring. A couple of tattoos of various things, but nothing concerning. Just kind of like, you're out in the field, you have a knife, you got some ink, like, you know what I mean? He draws a smiley face kind of thing.
Yeah.
He has graffiti. He doesn't have tattoos. He has graffiti.
Yeah, he has graffitied himself out of boredom.
So you should draw a dick on your arm. El Toro, because I don't see any marks that would concern him, he's going to take a bite.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a con save.
Con save +4. 23.
All right. Nothing happens to you as you eat this. You both of you take that first bite and the blood kind of like spurts into your mouth. Bones still in the meat. You might have some crunching every now and again. But yes, it is. Wait. Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking if it is fresh lion. No, I see. Sorry. Private chat, guys. My bad. But otherwise, doesn't. I mean, a little gamey, but not too bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Could use a little bit of seasoning, but in general, not bad.
Oh,
No.
gods! And he kind of he pulls a sort of a mineral stone out of a pouch that he has, and takes the knife and just kind of scrapes some of that mineral off onto your meat. How's that? I'm not much of a chef myself, but I know that I think it makes it taste a little better.
So I have a little bit of wild peppercorn as well, so sprinkle a little bit of that on, and I'll take a big old bite. Ow! Do I need to roll again?
No. It's you passed your check, and everything's fine.
Oh.
It does taste considerably better this time with a little salt, a little pepper.
Ah, much better. There you go.
So what has you all heading to that place? You know, like the Taka Call.
Right. Well, there's a bit of conflict over the Agarian Sea. Have you heard of it, Stepan?
No, never heard. Never met somebody from the sea this far inland.
Right. Most of the Tritons keep to themselves. They've just taking more bites out of this lion.
And you've got at this point, you've got blood running down your chin, on your hands,
No, he doesn't.
Thank
You're
you,
nasty.
Shelby. Thank you. But he continues. It was the way of the Tritons for many years to be furious warriors and very potent soldiers. But in the midst of all of this conflict, the sectioning of the oceans, segmenting, the Tritons, I guess, have chosen a way of passivity or non-confrontation. And that's not where my skills lie. So find my way to Takakal or the City of the Lost to, I guess, protect those that don't have the strength to fight. Guess
Unless
that's
you
what-
end up dead in a hole first.
Right.
Well, that seems very unpleasant. So I don't really have much more than the lion to offer. But I do have the ability to kill lions to offer. If you guys are traveling, I'd love to pawn shepherding off onto somebody else because it gets boring and like to have a girl instead of a sheep. No, I mean, not that way. I just meant.
Put the shovel down, dear. It's all right.
I'd really like to come with you guys. I've got a lot to offer. I can, fight. I could be your partner. And he gestures to El Toro. All it takes is a little bit of learning.
I mean, I'm not going to say no. At the very least, we can bring you to the next city, and then you can make your way there. It's not too far, so if all things go bad, you can at least come back home.
Name?
What?
Your name?
Name?
I made it up at the beginning of this conversation, and now I can't remember it.
So that means you're shady if you can't even remember.
Kill
him now!
Made this NPC up on the fly and cannot remember. He tells you his name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she just... All right. We'll have to come up with a moniker for you. And she's just sitting there. She's writing.
I remember. It's Damien.
Sure, that works.
You said it at the beginning. Damien Powerbottom. You said that was your name. You said that.
I was not ready for that. Stop. Oh my gosh. He told you his name, and I will go back after this and watch through again to remember that name. I just need to start making up names like Boblin. That's the thing. Easy to remember. A moniker. Yeah, like I don't know.
Well, when it
my
comes-
knife's made of iron. I killed a lion. I could be the Iron Lion.
We are not calling him that. No.
Thanks. I hate it.
Okay.
That's a bad name. No one would
Okay,
go by that
that
name.
goes on the trash
Stupid
pile.
name.
It's okay.
You
We can
have
just
to be
save it for later.
Simple.
Fine.
Think
Totally
simple.
fine.
Simple. Something simple.
You can come out onto the wrestling ring and look at everyone as the shepherd.
The shepherd. I like it.
I will
I like
give
it.
you one
Speaks
of
to
my flock.
humble beginnings. And I'll make you all my sheep.
Protecting
But,
the
like, not in a
people
weird
and
way.
killing the wolves.
Yeah, that even better. Even better.
Great.
Sounds like a people's champion in the making.
So does it mean I can come with you? And he kind of
I
gets this like almost like childlike, like, please, you know,
I mean, you
dog
could,
look in his eyes.
like I said, you could follow us to the next city, but you can't stay with us. Stay with us. We do have things to do. Like I said, try to make a name for yourself in the next city. See what happens. If it's good, do your thing. If it's bad, you're close enough to home
And
to say,
travel
"Well, I tried."
all the way to Takakal.
If you
I
want
like
to
it.
travel to Takakal, that's a caravan thing. You can go by yourself, but we are traveling with a larger caravan that has certain
So
ways.
I've got to join the caravan.
Well, the thing is, you need money.
Oh,
Was
shit.
that the
Yeah.
Are you guys really going to turn him away? For what?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not his sponsor.
I'm fine
Well,
if he comes.
correct,
To
but nonetheless, like each one of us had to just simply talk with Min Eric and the caravan's council. They decide.
Wait, caravan's leader is Mini Rick? That's
I'm
his
talk-
name?
I'm talking. You're not.
Right.
So I think it'd be easy for you to just go ahead, follow. We'll introduce you, but that's it. Can you manage on your own?
Well, I mean, I
You can
killed
talk
some
now, yes,
dogs. I killed a wolf. I killed a lion. I think I'm managing, man.
Well, if you want to be anywhere but here, then the caravan is for you. So sure.
For what it's worth, Min Eric hasn't turned anybody else down, no matter how ill-advised.
That is also true.
I can't stress that enough.
So you mean I've got a good chance? Let's go! And he just kind of like leaves the lion. He just starts running, leaves the fire, and then like turns back. Oh shoot! And then he kind of like goes back, stomps out the fire, and then kind of.
While he does all this, Salvi immediately turns to Dalby. Do we have to let him come with us?
It's not about letting, it's just about he was probably gonna do it anyway.
Now, when you're stomping out the fire, practice your move like a curb stomp. Just bring it down, stomp it on. Ha! Like, let them know you mean business. Good training. Everything can be
business.
training.
Training.
We could put him to sleep and head to the caravan. It wouldn't be hard.
I'm not in the mood.
And, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'll shut up the whole way. I promise.
You don't have to listen. The next time
Just
you lie to
silent
me, we're gonna
shepherd.
have a big issue. Okay?
Hey, you're right, man. You're right. So, and then he just kind of begins like talking as he walks with you guys.
Oh, boy. Let's have Stark babysit this one too.
Little bit of clarity. Salvi can't stand him. I think this is hilarious.
Can't
Just
handle
a-
too many meatheads.
Another Chanticleer to me.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. You were having a fantastic conversation with him over how you cook meats.
Interesting.
Yeah, and next time I'll give you the heart, man. I will.
And that's all right. All yours.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
Hells yeah. All right, let's go. So where are we headed to? And he's just kind of like, walking ahead of you guys, has no clue where he's going.
Therian.
Therian. Oh, yeah. No, I trade wool there sometimes. I haven't been in a while, but, I was about to shear the flock again and go, but, do any of you guys know magic or anything? Like, can you send a message to my dad that one of my other brothers needs to take up the flock? Because there are like 8 of them. Most of them are off somewhere else fighting. He needs to call one of them back because.
How far away is your dad?
What?
How far away is your father?
I mean, I don't know, like over a few hills, and there's this little valley with a creek that runs through it. And
Oh well, I can't help. Too bad. She can't.
Okay,
It's 120 feet. She can't help.
Okay, yeah, no problem. It's okay. Once we get there, I'll let him know. The sheep were in the gate, so it's fine. Like, I closed it. It's all good. They just,
I mean, how long would it take you to get there and then meet us in the city?
No, it's fine. I'll just get him word. It's fine. I've got a little bit of silver that he sends with me when I go to trade, so it's all good. I'll send him word.
Hypothetically, how long would your sheep be alone for?
At this point, probably. I mean, I don't know. So we're probably only a couple hours from Therion. Then it'd be just the time to find the messenger, send it back, and then for him to get to the sheep, because that'd be the thing. He could be there by tomorrow. It's fine.
Okay. You're the shepherd.
So, and as the scene comes to a close, he keeps talking. But you all did gain the windfall of a new friend joining the fold. The party meeting a friendly NPC that takes a liking to them, and either has a service to offer, or a gift to give. So maybe he will have a little something for you at some point.
He's hilarious. I adore him, and I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No. I love it. So, again, with only a couple hours between you and Therion, he talks your ear off, all of your ears. But eventually you round a bend on this road, and a valley opens up before you. At its center, an aging stone keep is carved into a rocky bluff, as if grown from it rather than built. Its walls bear the unmistakable mark of primordial design, angular, multi-leveled, and interlocking. High arches crowned with nested domes catch the sunlight, while narrow terraces cling to the cliffs to form dwellings out of reach to those outside. No flags fly above this place. No calls of warning greet your approach. Smoke curls upward from within. Below is where you sense your warning. An organized siege camp stretches across the lowlands. Rows of tents, makeshift barricades, and war machines form a ring of quiet readiness. Soldiers move in formation. Patrols are tight. Banners flutter in the breeze, each marked with the insignia of a rising cause. No signs of open battle yet, but there's an energy in the air, tense, restrained. Something is coming. From behind you, you hear all too late the clopping of hooves on moist ground as a voice calls from several yards away. Declare your name and purpose, or turn back from this place.
Salvi of House the Mayor, seeking shelter for the evening.
House La Mer? Do not know this house.
We can pay good gold.
Keep your gold. If you are who you say you are, you'll be granted night's stay, and perhaps granted passage onward.
We're a small caravan seeking a larger one. We just need to stop for the evening.
And where is your goal, your aim?
To move past this city. What is your aim?
We are laying siege to the city.
What
If
has
you
the
wish
city
to know
done?
why, you must ask our leaders.
You're going to lay siege to Therion.
The city Therion.
Why?
We'll have to talk to the leaders.
What I can tell you is that it deals with the loosing of a spirit, or rather, the staving off of that loosing. Dangerous things are inside the city. They will be loosed if we do not take it.
Warrior, my name is Douthie Farendir of the Death Hunters. May I offer my service in any way? You mentioned spirit.
What proof do you have that you are a death hunter?
Well, I'm sorry, is my shoddy uniform not enough for you? Perhaps
It kind of-
Serena on my back here also.
He looks over the both of you, and then kind of like
It's the classic
taking note of. Go ahead.
bold black with the red lining. And then Serena does, if he pushes, Serena does have an emblem at the very least. But won't pull that out just yet.
He kind of looks you over, seeing the black and red. That is enough for me. I tend to stay out of the way of death hunters. But
Most do.
you will still need to talk to our leader. We can take you to them.
What is everyone's thoughts?
I mean, I'm fine with it. It's not like we have any allegiance to this city. It's just a pit stop for our caravan.
Right.
Speaking to the people in charge seems to get our goals achieved faster usually.
If the caravan is in the city when they attack, that's not going to be quite right with me.
And we might need to prevent the caravan from entering if there's something evil.
Right. Hopefully, we did make it before they did.
I'm with Salvi. Let's go find this leader, show that we are neutral, and if we can provide aid to them if necessary. Otherwise, they can do their thing.
Soldier, are you often patrolling the outskirts?
Yes, we pardon. We do this less often than we patrol our camp, but it is regular.
Would you be willing to accept a little coin for a small job then? No need to worry about allegiances, just extra on the side.
Give me a persuasion check.
$18.
Okay. He looks to his companion and just kind of the other kind of What type of work are you talking about?
Well, it's really two jobs. One, to keep an eye out for a rather large caravan, and she'll go into describing what our caravan looks like. These are the people that we were here to meet. Just let us know when they're here, as we can, I would say at this point, comfortably speak for everyone. The other, have you seen, and she has somebody she's looking for. I can't recall what it looks like or find my daggum notes. But
No, yeah, I remember. I just watched that again today and was like, oh, that's another thing. Yeah, the I think it was a scout or something that was sent by the silver silver fang.
Silver Fang.
Yep. So And you wouldn't happen to one like that, would you?
Their eyes kind of get large for a second. No, we have not seen anything like that.
Insight check.
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Bova's not paying attention.
They haven't seen anything like that. Kind of a weird behavior, but they haven't seen anything like that.
All right. Well then, does this suit you? And it's 4 gold coins, 2 for him, 2 for the other.
And he kind of holds out his hand, just like so as not to take from you, but allow you to place in his hand, and then also places 2 in the other person's hand. And very well, follow us. And they kind of very slowly walk with their horses, kind of leading you all toward the camp.
Real quick before, I think like as we're walking down, as we're getting closer, Nir Khan just kind of chimes in. He goes, also, I think it'd be rude of me if I went any longer without thanking y'all steppers for helping me back there. I got quite lost and I guess lost track of time, and well, I bit the hook good and proper, didn't I? So thank you for helping me out there.
I mean, we haven't been traveling together long, but you're still a companion. We can't just leave you behind.
It was none of your business to, but you went out of your way, so thank you.
None of our business to? What does that mean?
You had no obligation. You didn't have
Obligation and business mean nothing. What do you mean? Do we, us 3, mean nothing to you? Sorry, 4. Serena's here too.
No.
No, we do not mean anything to you.
Sorry, yes.
Wow.
You do. I want to make sure that y'all are safe. I didn't know you'd go through hell and back for me.
Quite literally, they found you at the bottom of a hole. Unconscious.
You went through hell and back for me.
I'm still...
I mean,
I just don't know how...
I didn't mean this.
Look, I know you and I especially have talked about your ways. I respect them. But are they so singular that you would follow something that you have no idea of to your death, possible death, and not tell us and think that that was okay?
I'm seeing a bit of default in my ways. I should have told y'all, but to be honest with you, I did not anticipate it being a entire endeavor. That's beside the point, of course. I should have said something, but again, in my mind, that was not a contract that y'all signed with the individual I had to dispatch. That was between me and the individual.
Well, this is part of the reason why I went down there, is because I wanted to learn more about your culture. I can't really negotiate for us as a group if I don't know what everyone's needs and wants are.
Fair. That's very fair.
If this ever happens again, I beg of you to simply just tell us that you have an endeavor. And if you wish to be the one who drives the blade, so be it. Fine. I'll tell Stark here not to interfere. But you do not have to do all of this alone. Even though the challenge is yours, you do not need to carry the burden alone.
And if you try to leave us like that again, I'll make sure the shepherd follows you, so you'll be accompanied by him the entire time.
Nothing gets done.
No, I totally would do that for any of you.
Exactly.
Like, you guys are doing me a solid. I would do you so solid. No, I would do you a solid.
You better.
There's a brief moment where are we still on horseback?
I think we did have horses.
You did have horses, yeah.
Right, okay, so Douthie will jump down from his horse. He'll walk up to the new guy. And there's, because of the, like, you saw, like, there was an emotional, like, rage that he was, like, holding when speaking with Nir Khan. Simply that, like, he was left out. But there's something different where his eyes sort of, like, gloss over for a moment. And he stares at the new guy. And he yells the name Soloris at him. And he tells him to stand at attention when I'm fucking talking to you.
Dude, I don't,
You are a part of a team? How many times do I have to tell you this?
just one, sir.
Good. Now, we were just... We were just...
Dowdy?
What's going on with him, dudes?
We were... Dowdy immediately looks to Serena. He goes, Where are they?
Where are who? Dolores.
Where's our people? Where are we? Hey.
Douthie.
There's so
Remember.
much red. It's not it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't your fault, Douthie. We could not have known. No, Douthie, stay with me. She like places both hands on your face. Stay with me.
His eyes meet hers, and she can see the moment where his mind just leaves. And he passes out from the exhaustion.
She immediately picks him up and puts him, kind of lays him over the saddle of the horse. She straightens up. And just puts on a stoic face, looks at the rest of you, and just gets back on her horse and continues riding. Kind of takes Douthie's horse, the reins of Douthie's horse, and guides it.
I lean over to Shepherd and I just go, best to take him on a case-by-case basis.
Was that my fault? Did I do something?
No.
Like,
just respect that the little man's going through a lot. So take what he says by case by case. He's yelling at you, shape up. He's trying to claw your eyes out and eat your brain. Run, case by case.
Well, there's also the amount of talking and the fact that you were standing there. That couldn't have helped.
I won't talk again.
You said that at the beginning of the trip.
You're right. You are right. I shouldn't lie. He told me not to lie, and you just hear from one of the horsemen. He just kind of looks at you and keeps riding. As finally you're ushered into a tent where there stands a brawny, darker skinned individual who kind of looks out at you all. Who are you?
Real quick, Shepherd, go wait outside, take care of the horses. Get us settled.
I will do you that solid.
Thank ya.
He kind of he does that and he walks out.
Salvi's eye twitches as she turns really sharply and walks inside. We are the Morrigan and oh god, what was his name? Alistair from Dragon Age 1.
What is this?
We're searching for we're waiting for our caravan, really.
Yes, and who are you? They said they were from House Lamer?
Me, that is me, yes, Salvi. Of House Lemaire. Handmaiden to Duchess Lemaire.
Yes, House Lamer. A kind of looks to a woman off to his side. House Lemaire. House Lemaire is noble in the less hierarchical sense of the word and more virtue sense of the word. Yes, and why should I care if you are from House Lemaire? If we are laying siege to a city, why do you interrupt our siege?
We did not mean to interrupt your siege. This was merely on our journey and passage. Now, as to why I'm speaking to you directly, the real reason I'm out here is to make connections. Does it not benefit you to have additional contacts elsewhere?
And you see a sigil on this armor that looks almost like a sun, but it's different. You'd imagine it's almost it's more of a burst of magic than a sun. Give me a history check.
$15.
Okay. You would be familiar with the house Tallus, Tallus. This is, while not the dainty embroidered version of the sigil that you're used to seeing in courts, it is a variation of the sigil of House Tallus. The house is known to be a bit zealous in whatever they choose to do. The woman off to his left that he had looked to seems to be some form of cleric or mystic that serves a role as his advisor.
True, my lady's house is small, but it is also rising rapidly. Our small valley does quite a good export of potions, various types.
Potions.
Poisons, mostly.
You see the eyebrow kind of go up.
We all have our trade.
Interesting. Perhaps you and I should have discussions on the current relations of House Talos to House Lemaire, if that is your aim.
Splendid.
Something that might be more pressing. We are part of a larger caravan. It was supposed to be stopping in the city that you lay siege to, or soon. And we just want to ensure our caravan's safety, as there's no ties to the city you want to destroy.
Granted, under one condition. We need unaffiliated members of our network to infiltrate. A siege is long. We can endure it, but the time is pressing. We do not have much of it. The blood moon is said to be within the week, as early as tomorrow. We have to infiltrate before this occurs. When the rain falls on the blood moon, it will waken.
It?
He just kind of looks off to one side, or to his left again at the more religious-looking woman. Yes, it. The Starfeld Prince is what we've called it in our legends. A demon which seeks to rise again. There is, in one of our most holy texts, a prophecy of sorts. When steel forgets its burden and reigns in red the innocent, the Starfeld Prince shall rise from his sleeping depths, and righteous men shall shatter chains. Beware the steel-wrought pact, for you cannot abide it. It melts to his own will, and so he reigns, and binds the world in chains. We obviously cannot let that happen, and without access to the city, it will.
Can Serena do a religion check or something to see if she's able to see if this is true?
Yeah, totally. Go ahead and do that religion check.
That is a natural 20
Let's go.
Okay, for a total of?
for a total of 23.
Okay, 23. With a 23 religion, while she's not familiar with the zealotry of House Talos, she would, however, know of the idea that demons and or devils fell once from the stars. She would also know that this prophecy is an ancient one. This prophecy in particular, because I would say she'd likely read similar renderings of it in other books, researching and whatnot. This was a prophecy originally given in Primordial by the people who lived in this city long ago that were not at war with the Primordials. She doesn't know what it means, but she is aware of it, and from what this woman is saying, it seems authentic from similar renderings she's seen in other works.
Forgive me for interrupting, but my name is Serena of the Faithful, clerical arm of the Death Hunters. Is there any other Death Hunters that have been dispatched to handle this matter?
We prefer to stay out of the way of Death Hunters. House Talus governs itself and does for itself its bidding.
And you doing for yourself your own bidding, you'd impose that same bidding on another city? You see what I'm getting at? Instead of calling an exterminator for a rat problem, you've held the whole city captive.
The city's unwillingness to acquiesce to our request to enter is its own doing.
Well, you know what they say, those who live by the sword. Sure. What services do you require?
We need someone to infiltrate the gates and open them for us, that we may stop this thing from rising.
What do you think would be the worst evil, Serena? You seem to be concerned over whether or not it's fair to the city. Well, doesn't sound particularly fair to allow a demon to arrive either. Which is worse?
I know. Sorry,
I'm asking.
Bit heightened emotions, but sorry if I've overstepped. I know I normally end up. I'm normally quiet. Salvi, would you be willing to try to, instead of us infiltrating, perhaps we have a conversation where we can go speak to somebody about this? You seem to be good with words.
I can certainly try. Is that what you feel is right, though?
I feel that only knowing one side puts us at a big disadvantage.
That is true.
Because, to be fair, many would call the ones that I love in this box a demon. So.
You do see the woman kind of stir uneasily at that and look at the box inquisitively.
Good.
Pay it no mind.
And again, on the box is like carvings, intricately drawn. It's almost like that golden filigree in each of the divots of like runes of specific gods and like very like almost all of them that would be labeled good.
Sure.
So, it is a deal then.
Certainly. And you and I still have things to discuss, unless you want us to go now.
The sooner, the better. And should it prove adequate, then you can rest assured that our relations here and onward will be quite friendly indeed.
Very well.
And he just kind of assumes an attention sort of position and looks at the door of the tent, looks back at you and back at the door.
Salvi will do a quick little curtsy and just curtly turn, walk out.
I'll follow. And behind Salvi, I just whisper over her ear. Is it normally like the fancy courtship thing to do to just not say like you are dismissed or like, hey, the conversation's over now? Like, do you just look? You can't say like, okay, bye? Or...
Not unless you really, really don't like the person. Then you can be petty and tell them, well, there's the door. I understand you might have difficulty finding it. Would you have preferred that?
Oh, that is spice. Yes.
Typically, when it comes to courtiers, if there's less words, you're fine. If there's more is when you worry.
Right.
I love, can you not just say, okay, bye?
Okay.
I'm learning so much from you guys.
So, you all make your way
Downtown.
up to the gates of Therion, a bastion of ancient civilization and architecture. The remnants and echoes of a time long gone. You don't see watchmen on the walls. You don't see soldiers ready for a siege. You see a single guard. At least you guess he is. He wears shoddy makeshift leather armors and looks at you all somewhere between inquisitive and nervous. Right then, who are you?
Hello, Salvi of House Lemaire. I have a question.
Right.
There seems to be an encampment just outside of your city that is under the impression that you're not wanting to cooperate with something.
Right.
Oh, wee lamb. Could you take me to your superior, maybe?
Give me a persuasion check.
You did not just say, "Could I talk to your manager?"
Yes, I did.
Totally did.
Oh, I'm not going to get anywhere with this.
My persuasion is a +5, and I just rolled a nat 20.
He just kind of like looks at you, looks around like, all right, and then ducks away. And like maybe 20, 30 seconds later, you see the stone gates of this city begin to pull apart. The grinding of stone on stone as it pulls. Right then, this way.
That was easy.
You're not with them, right?
Hmm?
We'd have to close the gates.
Not currently.
Right. And he turns away and just kind of starts walking.
A whole battalion of soldiers couldn't do that.
See? It's as if all you needed to do was talk.
The heavy gates slide shut behind you, and the clamor of siege fades into distant memory. Inside, the air's quieter, but not still by any means. Children run errands through narrow lanes. A blacksmith hammers away at farming tools, reworking them into makeshift arms. Near the well, over off to one side of you, a woman ladles water into a pot, pausing to eye you, sort of mixture of curiosity and caution. The buildings here are old, repurposed from ancient sandstone basalt and red rocks. Repairs are visible in the sloped walls which lead up toward ancient domes and flat roofs stacked atop tiered terraces. Patched walls, fresh mortar, canvas stretched thin where roof tiles have fallen away. Destruction marring the intentional symmetry of this city. It's not a fortress prepared for war. This settlement is holding its breath, waiting for the warhammer to fall. You're ushered into a building by this person.
This precious wee lamb.
This precious wee lamb. Don't tell the new guy.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's still with the horses, right? We didn't take him with
Totally.
No.
You left
Okay,
him
cool.
in the dust.
Just making
No,
sure.
dude,
That would have been one of those.
Entire time.
That would have been one of those moments where Salvi goes, "No, not you. No, stay."
As the door is closing. Oh, but come on, wait, no, I just.
No, it's full. It's full. There's no room. Sorry.
You're taken through a series of corridors and into a room wherein is where did I put the oh dang oh no dang I lost my notes. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second.
As you do that, as we walk in, Serena will look to Nir Khan and say, sorry about Douthie. He can get so, well, you know. He cares about you.
Yes, I know, and I care for y'all too. I'm truly sorry that I didn't clue you into the types of battles I was going on. He had a point. Anger was justified.
He cares so deeply for you. You remind him of someone.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Here you go. And a door is opened before you. We're in a Douthie and Nir Khan, you would recognize this person, the way that they stand and hold themselves to have at once been maybe a soldier. Gruff, kind of rough around the edges. She looks at you in her tattered, like, chainmail armor, and what's this? Are we letting everyone into our city now? Is that what's going on?
I'm sorry. Our caravan is supposed to be traveling through here, get supplies, and be on our way.
Are you part of the caravan to Taka Call?
Yes.
Yes, you're regularly scheduled here.
Yes. I also have a minor contract with the individuals encamped outside your fair city. Tell me, why don't you want them to stop the demon returning?
As a neutral party, it was a conversational piece. The phrasing of that was
Rough.
And
that was why I
like
said me.
hand on sword.
neutral party. We're not with them. My
Yeah.
idea was to have conversation.
She's
You
with
didn't.
them.
You act. Everyone here is acting like nothing's happening, but it is. So, anyway,
what-
Salvi,
And
continue.
what are they saying is happening?
I'll let
That
Salvi will do the talking.
that there is a demon returning, something about a starfall, something or other. She's trying to be intentionally obtuse.
Sure.
That they simply want to stop it coming, and I can't imagine why anyone would want a demon to return. It seems very poorly conceived notion, given your circumstances.
No one wants the demon to return. We just want to live peacefully.
Then why won't you let them stop it?
Don't believe a demon will return.
And if it does, what then? You seem so wonderfully prepared.
You
Can I
see
ask
it
a question?
wavering in this individual. Go ahead, Serena.
Can I just wish to ask if is there based on their scriptures they understand it to be that it's happening because, and she'll repeat back like basically all the scripture.
Yeah, here. Let me actually just go ahead and drop that to you guys.
and she'll ask, so obviously you don't believe this, but what do you believe?
This is the inscription of the tablet. But this is strange, the way that they've translated.
How so?
Do any of you speak the primordial tongue?
Yes. Let me take a look.
This is very sacred writing. We cannot let just anyone take a look. She kind of just looks at you, not in a I don't believe that you're worthy, but like a, can you give me some proof that we should let you look at our holiest tablet?
This is. Can you tell me about this? I'm very familiar with etchings in stone.
Yes. Long ago. Look around you. Do you see this type of architecture everywhere in the world that you've traveled?
Yes.
You see this type of architecture. The
Well,
seamless
each culture.
stonework, the masonry that does not have bricks.
I've seen it where I come from, which is not the surface.
And where are you from?
I'm a Triton with the Central Ligurian civilization. The depths, Ligurian depths. If you speak of primordials, maybe Terran is what this is in. Aquan is what I'm familiar with, but I can read Terran.
Give me a persuasion check at advantage, Nirkan.
Let's go.
Take a bardic inspiration with that as I sit there and strum a note on a harp for a second.
What's your bardic?
It's a D6, I believe. Give me 1 second.
I think it's a D8 at this point. I might be wrong.
No, it's a D6.
Okay.
Sweet.
I think it's a D8 at level 5.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, we're still level 4. Never mind.
That is an unnatural 20.
Nice.
Nope, never mind. That's got potential, but I'm going to leave it there. You seem of an unnaturally persuasive tongue. I do not speak the tongue of the primordials, but if you do, perhaps... Well, I don't know what the tablet says. I just know that... I just know what's been told to me, and it sounds different. Okay, I don't tell my people.
There's no need to be ashamed. People need a leader. You are that, so hold that close. I'll read this and tell you what it says, so that you can tell me.
She leads you further into the building. She takes you down a narrow stair. And there we go. She leads you down a narrow stair that takes you into a chamber hewn from the same sun-warmed stone as the rest of the keep. But here, the architecture turns inward. Rounded walls curve like the inside of a sphere. A sort of half circle of a room. A high-set teardrop window lets in a shaft of dust-glittered light. The masonry is impossibly fine. You do not see a single seam or crack, and the air carries a cool dryness of a place sealed away from everything else in the area. Carved into every surface, arches, niches, even the worn floor, are flowing glyphs in a very ancient style. Spiral motifs mingle with jagged runes, forming patterns that recall both the movement of the wind and the weight of the mountains. Gold-dusted inlays form a radiant burst of magic, which you, Salvi, will recognize as the sigil of the House Talus. This one, though, sends stylized chains down around a depiction of a being you can't quite make out. At the room's heart stands a low platform of red-veined stone, built in the same interlocking style as the city's ancient foundations. Resting upon it is a single slate of dark basalt, etched in flowing primordial script, Terran, as you immediately recognize Nirkan. The lines seem to shimmer faintly, though the room is still. You see the words in a dialect which you can read, but slightly unfamiliar to you. Ilil ta oroshnicho, Mari etidiragashtis rehot, tehosh miroshu, kolhotli, isho taphota te iris, goshit quitoshis kashotli. Ihlitl monun takot. Tinu tarenochotli. Tanun tamoroshot. Otkoshotli. Otkoshis takoshotli quish. And I will drop the translation of all of that into the chat for you guys.
Nirkan goes around, and this place you said was like completely like dry or something like that, like the
More or
dust.
less. It's been sealed away for a very long time.
I think Nirkan channels that magic that he has learned from the stone deep within the earth below the waves. He channels that magic that courses through him, and he pulls some of the wetness and moisture off of his own skin and casts a little mist around the room that just raises those glyphs, almost like a holograph, almost like projecting into the mist, and then begins switching them around so that they can read this inscription instead of just having me tell them.
Ooh.
That's so cool.
I'll assist with that, a little bit of prestidigitation where there's a glow over where all of his dew settles.
That's so
You see,
cool.
here in the middle is maybe where the confusion lies. Some translate it this way, and he, spells out that middle part. And then he goes, but this simple stroke, this character here, switch there, slide over, and a quick turn of these linguistics here, this grammar here, and you see the meaning changes completely.
Now you all do have the comparison of the modern common translation as well as the literal, like, word for word translation of the old Terran.
Yes. What once becomes beware the peace wrought by steel instead turns to the steel peace, the steel pact. Beware it. You cannot last it. Make it last. This simple translation can make the biggest difference.
So are we supposed to, so either translation ends in chains binding the world?
That's what I was about to say. It seems a bit of a nuanced message to me.
I mean, like, yes, sure, the steps that are taken are varied, but interesting. What does it mean to your people?
Yes.
As the magic of the deep spreads through this room and clarity is given to the words, this woman, who by now you would know because I didn't apparently introduce her, I didn't actually say her name, is Captain Mirella Varn. Captain Mirella Varn looks at this basalt, and there is an ethereal shimmer around her. You see a figure emerging, as if like wrapping her in some embrace. You've seen this before. This figure. Everyone give me an intelligence check.
Oof.
Can I use Arcana since it's this magical effect?
This would be an intelligence check, straight intelligence, because it's just to see if you remember something.
Oh, okay.
18.
18.
10.
19.
12.
Okay, near Khan and Serena, you would remember a child that ran from the caravan into a city. The city of Torith. You remember a ghostly figure, an apparition, a pale blue glow that seemed to keep it safe and tell you something. It told you to reverse Torith. That same figure envelops Captain Mirella Varn at this moment as her eyes light up with this pale blue glow and she gasps. And then a single tear traces its way down her cheek as the collective memory of the people who had gone on before her floods into her being. The figure dissipates. When steel forgets that it is there to protect the unguilty ones, when it rains their blood down, that is when he will rise. When peace is held by steel, it cannot last. He will turn it into our chains and imprison us all.
Salvi's more muttering this to herself than anything, but she's, I don't know, it all sounds rather pedantic to me. It still means he comes and binds the world. I don't see the difference.
I think
Binding the world in peace is better than binding the world in chains.
Well, it's already bound in chain. Those standing inside the walls are holding steel. Those standing outside the walls are holding steel.
I think that's
They
it.
don't
Though.
currently have a way to escape it.
I think that's it, though. It's because they won't escape it, or they won't allow themselves to see that they can escape it. It's what one translation says: steel or peace held like by steel, which is what I would see as defense. You know, if this city is to hold its position and stave off the outsiders by force, there will be bloodshed. If the outsiders come in and they take it by force, then there will be chains. What I see is that it has to do with the violence. Not so much the binding in chains. If we can avoid the bloodshed, maybe. I don't know. Is there a demon? You know, they teach us in the Faithful. We're supposed to look for these things, but most of that time they just end up being people with. Well, yeah, the monster under your bed is just a person.
I've always
Especially
been,
you, Eldon.
I've always been under the belief that you should never lead with violence. Like when our friend Magda approached that razorback in the woods. There was no conflict between us until we invaded its space. Then we must attack to save ourselves. Violence to achieve peace is still violence. I always go about seeking peace before violence must settle it. And if it comes to blows, then it must be settled. So we can again achieve peace. To leave violence hanging in the air means there is constant war, constant violence, constant conflict. It must be resolved so that peace can be what is constant.
Oh, this is a religious matter, not a political one. I can't help with this.
It's not religious.
Well,
No one taught me this.
look, I don't sit on many meetings of the hunters and their going-ons, but wouldn't peace and the notions of it be political? Wouldn't telling someone not to raise a sword be political?
You're arguing the difference between politics and righteousness. Politics dictates that, well, that my end of this conversation end considerably differently. But peace dictates that we settle this more amicably. And I'm not certain how to do that. Because on the one hand, we have these with their conviction. She gestures out towards the opposite side of where they came from, meaning the people outside. And on the other, we have these. One says, "Don't attack us. It will bring on this prophecy." The other says, "Let us in or we will attack." That's the funny thing about zealots. You don't usually change minds easily. For us to try to stop this, we would have to stop the army outside, and I don't think we're equipped for that.
I think the power of a single voice is enough to be equipped for that. I just don't know whose voice it is. Plus, this whole thing could be made up, for all I know. Right?
That's the other thing. That's why I'm not religious. The gods could just be having fun with us. There's lots of gods out there who just want to see the world burn, Master Wayne. No, sorry. I'm bringing it up.
Not sponsored.
Sorry, I've never heard that reference. It's a good one, though. I'm sure where you're from.
The gods created this world. They got in trouble when they interfered. This could be another way. It's a moot point, but it could be. I'm saying right now we should focus on stopping the potential violence between two differing groups.
Let's see. Maybe we can. And she starts to pull out her what is it again? It's her forgery kit. She's not creating a forgery necessarily. She's taking everything that's on the walls, writing down the exact wordage, and then the exact translation as Nircon tells it to her, if he would.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think that changing the mind of a zealot is anything we're going to accomplish, but if it's going to be accomplished, it will be without evidence.
Yeah, that's a fair point there.
I think
So she'll copy down everything. Sorry.
I think what would ultimately break my heart is if the person outside the city is not here because of the actual prophecy, which would go to your point of zealotry.
They most certainly are. Look, they even have their symbol over here on the wall, and she'll point it out. I'd wager this is a family that once ruled this area and has since fallen out of favor with it for some reason or another. Such things happen.
When we arrived here, it was abandoned. No one, it seemed, had driven anyone out. It was simply left.
As I said, such things happen.
When,
They are simply
when was that?
I was born here. I
know it's a history question. I don't know your history, which is why I ask. I know it could be hundreds of years. I'm not sure.
somebody go ahead and give me a history check because
15.
right on.
I rolled it because I was curious.
Okay. Savi, did you also roll one?
I rolled a 15 as well.
Okay, cool. So with a 15. Let me double check something.
I love when he gets out the big map. I don't know what it is. I fucking love the big map.
Dude, I also love the big map. I like it. It's fun. Okay. So, Therion, while not a major settlement, the story of Therion is one that students of history would be relatively acquainted with. A group that once ruled. Some scholars assume it was the Talus family. Were given a message by a primordial sage, one of the ancients. This was, of course, before the ancients were driven into the wastes. This message warned of a great evil. Scholars debate largely what that was, but it was cause enough for them to abandon their ancestral home, their joint home with their blood kin and their chosen kin in the ancients. The city lay waste for a very long time. Only recently, within the past maybe 70, 80 years, have some been rumored to have taken dwelling there. Presumably, this could be, the reason that it was abandoned could have been this prophecy that you're hearing about now. Could have been anything, but likely they abandoned it with what you're hearing now. They abandoned it because of this prophecy, that it might not come to fruition. Now they've returned so that it might not come to fruition.
Right.
Salvium, forgive me, but I'm lost. I don't. Are these? Are our options for us to help one side or help the other, or the other two choices, which is to make them figure it out without violence or walk away?
Honestly, the group's best choice may well be to walk away. Salvi will kind of walk over to Serena and sort of pull her aside a little bit, keeping her voice down. I already have an agreement with the established force outside.
But is it the right one? I mean, I know it's an inn, and I would never question you. You're pretty amazing with everything you do.
I don't think you understand. I don't understand this concept you have of right and wrong. I'm simply saying that the force outside, we have no way to stop. I can't convince them. If someone's going to speak for this city, this cause, it has to be someone who believes in it. And me, I believe in contracts, one I've already entered. So if you're wanting to help these people, you need to figure it out.
Are you saying this? Are you whispering this, that is?
As quietly as she can, yes.
Thank you for your counsel.
I have a job to do. That being said, part of that job is making sure that I keep ties strong within our group.
Fair enough.
So, have you conferred? Are you going to help? Sabotage the siege engines. Fake a divine sign. Reveal the flaw of their view of the prophecy. Anything?
Salvi just looks at Serena. And
I'm
Nircon. And everybody.
Actually, yeah, no, Bova, I'd love to know your thoughts, if you have any.
I mean, in all honesty, nothing sounds good. I hear chains and I feel very uncomfortable. The only thing I can think of is say, fuck it, walk away. What can we do? But we have something. Salvi has the translation. She can show it. But if they don't listen, that's not my problem. I'm not a miracle worker. I just hurt people.
I mean, you're much more than just that. And she goes off into a small little tip of, don't talk about yourself like that.
I'm not being negative. I'm just saying that I don't think I can help in this situation. This is religion. Not a fan.
Religion is nothing more than misdirected passion, and you have a lot of that.
But these misdirected passion or not, these people believe in these things. As one of the faithful, we are taught all faiths. We are meant to work within every spiritual realm that we can, simply because we have to know as much knowledge as possible for the Death Hunters and what they do.
This. I pardon my interruption.
Sure.
Please do not say this is simply a matter of one religion or another. I am not a person of great religion or faith, but I believe in what we do here. We found this place abandoned. We were starving. Our caravan was lost. We had no place to go, and this city was a gift. It was given to us. It kept us. It nurtured us. And God's all be damned. It's our home.
And are you unwilling to share your home?
No. By all means, if others wish to come and partake in the gifts that we have, they're welcome to it. But when you talk about destruction, well, don't you know that you can count me out?
Salvi kind of elbows Serena. Sounds like a very passionate voice, if you ask me.
You don't need to mock them.
I wasn't mocking. I was saying we need somebody who believes in this place to speak to the others, and she does.
Oh. Sorry. I get it.
I'm not always me.
Sorry, I know you're not.
Tells it how she sees it.
No, that's totally fair. Captain, are you willing to be a voice of reason? Don't you get
I'm-
tired of hiding behind walls?
I once took part. I once took part in sieges, in warfare. I left this place for a time. I'm one who's killed who just wants some redemption. I'm not a hero, I'm not a voice to rally the masses or to talk sense into. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, and I'll make this an advantage.
I was about to say, I'm helping.
Yeah, I mean, one way or the other, this is an advantage.
Wait, who makes it?
You were the last one to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for the advantage, at least.
Strumming the harp, take your bardic.
It's a D6 for Bardic, right?
Yup.
Cool.
Don't like the sound of that.
Hey, that's a 6 at least, which gives me a 17.
Okay, Kevin, what? Oh, well, I guess it was an 11. That makes sense why you were a little nervous.
Sorry.
It means that
I have to be honest. It's a 16.
either way.
Because
I
it's a
mean,
-1, not
That
a
actually
0.
makes a whole lot of difference.
Either way.
It's that 1 point we were counting on. Shit.
But if it means that we can continue to live in peace, that blood will not be needlessly shed, that innocence will be spared, I will try.
Another thought that I had is that this spirit will arise when the violence starts. Should we go through with this plan, they do not succumb to our wishes. Do you still fight, knowing that in the end you will lose to the chains of a demon? Or do you give up this place as to not invoke this spirit?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because if you give up the place, if we lose the conversation and give up the place, the spirit still is not summoned. Is that an option or no?
Not sure if that's what's at the heart of the prophecy. It seems
Because if they take it, the prophecy states that if it is taken by force, then there will still be chains, even if there is no one to take it from by force. Does that
it will
make sense?
still be held by the sword.
If we're forced out,
Yeah.
Still
So yes, but it
Sure.
says if the innocent blood is shed, and that means the ground must be bathed in blood at some point in some way. If you're not here, how can that happen?
Why don't you just follow us back to their leader with the translation?
no. A middle place. You don't take the leader of this place to their home. Middle ground.
Meet at the gates.
We will meet them at the gates. We will bring their captain to an open gate under a white banner.
If they use force, they're the ones.
As we're walking out, just subtly, I'm not like we're not making this super obvious or anything, but I'm looking around at what the defenses are like, seeing where if there's a button for that door to open it, the gate. the main like big
Yeah,
gate?
it's like it's
Portcullis.
pulled across, so there are like chains attached to each of them, attached to pulleys that somebody has to kind of crank a wheel to pull open.
Portcullis situation. Gotcha.
Yes. Yep. That.
Okay. I'm taking note of it and where the weak points are.
Okay. There are a couple that you take note of.
Salvi, do you want to go back maybe alone or take, I don't know, one of us to go tell the Talos leader of this and then arrange the meeting?
I can, certainly.
You should not go alone. I can go if...
I was gonna say, I'd rather stay here. She looked at the box weird. I didn't like that.
Above board, y'all send somebody with her. She does not need to go alone.
That's fair.
Maybe she can go alone. I think it's fine.
Yeah, no, she'll be fine.
Oh, y'all gonna be mad at me? Okay.
I was gonna say,
I'll-
because
I'll-
if El
I'll-
Toro wasn't gonna go in the first place.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll accompany Sylvie.
Alright.
Okay.
That way she's not too blunt.
Excellent.
Bluntness. Yeah, that's what we're worried about. Okay.
When they leave, I'm gonna go to the captain and ask, do you have escape routes for your people, and are they prepared to flee?
There is a gate on the opposite side of the city, but we are not prepared. Ha! You got me doing starting to do Serena's voice.
Sorry.
Golly, there is a gate at the other side of the city. But we are not prepared to flee.
You need to do everything that you can right now to allow yourself and all of your people to move. Whatever chance you can give them, start moving.
I don't
Because
believe that your people should fight. It should not be your people who incite this prophecy.
Alkarth. You heard them. And you just hear, all right. And the figure sort of runs off to, right, prepare to, evacuate.
I just, if you can save even one life, I think that's enough.
The meeting is arranged. Salvi and Bova, is there anything in particular that you would like to note that is said to the opposing captain?
Salvi, whenever they first walk up, she describes the offering for the meeting and whatnot, and after she gets done going over that basic information, she closes her notebook. I also noted several weak points in the gate as we were walking in, just in case.
Okay. In case of what?
Oh, Salvi.
I stood here and made the agreement with you all standing there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine.
What's wrong?
This is out of my element, so.
I have a contract.
Hope for the best.
Either way, they seem to be very genuine about this desire to stop the same thing you want to.
Then we will meet with them.
Wonderful.
Let us be onward. The meeting's arranged, and both parties stand at an open gate.
Oh God. I'm gonna be sick.
Whoa!
I'm gonna be fucking sick.
You see, as you all gather together, Commander Khazir Dareth, with his prophetess Vaka, standing opposite Captain Mirella Varn, and her second, Eldon Thornwell, the blacksmith that you saw beating beating plowshares into swords. Several seconds pass in tension. Make sure that the right music is going. That's not it. That's not it. Had the wrong one.
We can cut this. It's okay.
We totally can. Let me start that again. Several seconds pass. Intention. Do you truly stand between us and the putting away of a demon that will wreak havoc on this land, on your people, on mine? You don't understand. What is at stake here is only bloodshed. When that happens, when a city is taken by force, that is when the demon will be released. The translation of the tablet is stretched out in between the two. You seem to understand this better than any of us. Please, lend your explanation.
Yes.
Dweller.
We came to you. Now I'm slipping into the accent. Don't worry, Stepas. I translated this for y'all so y'all know what was going on their side of the gate. This is explaining that this ritual, this prophecy, will only come true if this sacred place is taken by force. Therefore, if you storm the gates, y'all will be the ones to make the prophecy come true. If y'all storm the gates and the citizens of this town fight back, they will be the ones to make the prophecy come true. However, the only way for this spirit to stay succumbed is to resolve this with peace. I'm telling you now, you go ahead with your siege, and you will be the reason. You will be the inciting reason why this demon comes back. Look here, look here. You can read right here. Both parties, them and you, had the translation mixed up. I am familiar with the primordial, Aquan, Terran. Both of these help to translate this.
You're saying that the prophecy passed down through generations in our house, through our line of priests, through my line of priests, has somehow been corrupted.
Not corrupted, translated incorrectly.
So you insult our intelligence then?
No. Never.
It's like playing the sending stone game. Like you send a message, they get it, they send that exact same message to the next person, they send it, and
I'm
then
sorry.
after a while,
While you were busy playing games as a child, I was learning religion and prophecies, committing them to memory.
Right. And if you are committing a wrong translation to your memory, I'm telling you now,
I think
this is what it says.
it
I'm
is
telling you
better-
right now, if you want to go true, if you are so convinced that you're right, I'm telling you right now, you will be the reason that a dark spirit arises out of this place. I'm telling you right now, you can believe your long ancestry of religion and history. I'm telling you right now, I just looked at this as a translator from both realms, putting everything together, seeing the full picture. You've only seen one side. We didn't see the truth, and so we saw both.
I want everyone to declare a single thing you are doing in this pivotal moment to aid or detract from convincing this army to leave. This is going to be resolved in a single roll. I'm going to give the leader of the city one roll to decide whether or not the others acquiesce to her request.
Prestidigitation is so useful.
Each of you will have an opportunity to add something to the conversation or to the situation as a whole that will add to or detract from this effort, raising or lowering the DC. What do each of you do? And Nir Khan, if you want that, what you just said to have been your thing, totally fine.
I'll think and say another thing.
Okay?
Salvi, again, like I said, prestidigitation is so useful. While Nir Khan is making that big epic speech, she just casts like a little wind that kind of like picks up, almost as though nature itself is kind of confirming it, what he's saying.
Okay, and so that is toward the convincing, correct?
She's trying to add gravitas to the speech.
Okay, excellent. Would you mind rolling me a charisma arcana check? This is charisma based because that's your spellcasting modifier. But if you are proficient in arcana, you will add that to your charisma modifier.
That gives me a +9. 19 + 9 is 28.
Excellent.
Sparkles.
Who else is adding to this situation?
I for sure will. I called back to I remember back to the fight with the spined creature in the cave that we found. What was the name of that god again? Terrace? The slain god?
The slain god. Yeah, I don't. Let me check. But yeah, the slain god.
As you said, we didn't play games. We were raised in religion, as was I. And I would do anything to stop the hatred of Kor. So I will throw myself in front of any blade. And I stand by the peace that could be brought by this conversation. We shall cast Sanctuary on the captain.
Okay. I would like a. Let's do because Sanctuary is a cleric spell. Let's do a religion check.
Okay. Oh, that was not good at all.
You can use wisdom instead of intelligence, because I'm just recalling intelligence is, or religion is an intelligence-based skill, but because wisdom is your spellcasting modifier, I'll say wisdom religion check.
Okay, well, let me see, what does that...
Teres, yeah.
Cool, I'm glad I got lore right at least. I'm not going to get this roll right, though. Either way, it's adding my wisdom, it's an 8. Woo!
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Oh shit!
No.
As Salvi begins to sort of add this gravity to the situation, you see both both Khazir and Baka both sort of like leaning in with a very serious look on their faces as you cast Sanctuary on the captain. They lurch back slightly, putting their hands on their weapons. Rather, Khazir putting his hand on his sword, Baka pulling like a sort of bit of arcane divine energy in between her hands. Who else is adding to this situation?
You get the city regardless. Why kill when you can form allies? These people have been here. They know scripture. They've been taking care of your abandoned home. Make them your people. They don't want bloodshed. Why would you? If bloodshed could cause the demon to show up, why risk it when you could easily subjugate these people in peace? Make them your new family. Bloodshed is not necessary.
Bova, give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion plus 3, 18.
18. Maka's hands pull back together and she drops them to her waist. Readied, but Khazir pulls one hand away from his sword and lets it fall by his waist as the other stays hovering over the hilt. Mir Khan, did you say you wanted to do one last thing?
Yes, yes. You speak of history, of your teachings. Do you want the next generation of your kin to teach of your mistake here or of your success? Your mistake will be inciting violence. Your success will be leading with peace and ensuring that your ways, your people live on to tell this story.
History will remember you either way. How do you want to be remembered?
Mir Khan, give me a history check. And if you should want to, you can use your charisma modifier instead of your intelligence modifier. I don't know where those two compare in your sheet.
It's a very drastic difference. I think as he says this, there's a flicker of worry in his face. And I think for a second he lets slip this idea that he might have to die in this area. With that, he has a 10. As he's unsure of how this is going to play out.
Okay. All of those rolls are noted. I'm going to choose a die. This is my monster die. It always rolls well. I'm not using this one.
You bastard.
I'm instead using my druid die. One roll decides the fate of Therion. You have lent to this situation all you can to sway one way or another. Varn looks out, glowing in divine light. Please see reason. Kazir's eyes narrowing. Vakar's hands pulling out into the beginning of a spell. I implore you, do not shed blood on this soil. Give us the night to consider your request. If we are gone by morning, then you will know your answer. Oh, sorry, not gone by morning. If our forges are dulled by morning, you will know your answer. And we will enter your city peacefully. But we must confer. That will do. The two turn in unison, just the same pivotal movement, and walk off. And that is where we're going to call tonight's session. The roll has been noted. And next time, we will see if it will be peace or if the demon will be released.
I'm gonna be sick.
Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you all so much for joining us. This was a heavy session, and we are going to get off of here and decompress and do some much needed aftercare from those high emotions. That said, take care, y'all. We love you guys a lot. And till next time, keep on looking for legends.